is the appearance of impropriety. Now, I know a bit about this because I've had to manage that in my employment. And recently, for my not-for-profit, I had to write the conflicts of interest policy for the boards of directors, which, until recently, included Carly Fiorina. Conflicts of interest, what that says, and what my colleague alluded to, is there was an opinion that was delivered by our town council, legal counsel. It is most unfortunate that he's not here after delivering that opinion. I have to agree with Ms. Kerner on that. He should be here to explain the opinion. That said, what I can tell you on conflicts of interest policy is that if, and the definition is, if there is any pecuniary interest that can be derived as a result of an association, you must first disclose it. If there is a potential impact to your employer who pays you, you must disclose that. And to avoid the appearance of impropriety, which I'll give you the definition of, you must recuse yourself. What is the appearance of impropriety? It's a bit looser. What it says is, if a layperson looking at the circumstances might conclude that it doesn't pass the smell test, that, oh, well, this decision was made for Bishop House, let's say, because it's the solution is furthest away from where your employer lives. The pecuniary impact is that, it could impact your bonus for that company. And a layperson might conclude there's something not going on here. I'll give you a personal example.
Come on, enough, Ron.
Please.
I'll give you a personal example. When I announced to my employer, Citibank, that I was running for office, they told me that to avoid the appearance of impropriety, if they ever considered going for a municipal bond, I would have to not only recuse myself, I would have to resign. That's in business ethics. That's how sensitive it is. That's how insensitive it is. It also covers for not-for-profits. So it's a business ethic issue that should not be taken lightly. And therefore, frankly, it would have been better to have discussed it in private and sort it out, rather than trying to get the masses in support. But I want you to be clear on what the ethics issues are. Thank you.
Can we continue that discussion?
Can you ask to be recognized?
Yeah, may I be, Mr. Chairman, may I be recognized?
Okay, you could say mayor, rather than chairman. Thank you very much. But go ahead.
You can tell, I think the people in the audience can tell there's a little bit of stress on the dais. Even in my good days, I don't have no stress. So I'll try to be as calm as possible. I just asked Councilman Gray whether any of the proposals would impact the home value at 2 Alfred Drive, which is where Ms. Kerner's employer lives. He said no. Intuitively, that makes sense because according to what Councilman Gray said, they don't care which of the proposals would be adopted. So, I'm not an attorney, but I don't see any impact on her employer. I don't see any conflict. I don't think the borough attorney's here because he would be embarrassed to actually have to defend this question in front of us. I mean, he didn't even send his law partner. I want to just tell you what the case says, because we're all at a bit of a disadvantage here because we have the documents and you don't, and I don't like that. But basically, the Griggs case, which was cited, says that you can't vote when there's a particular benefit to the employer. And that's intuitively obvious. If we were voting to give a contract to her employer or my employer, that's no-brainer, right? You're not voting. You should be recusing yourself. We agree. I'm not gonna say the situation, but in June of this year, we had something on our agenda where in fact someone actually did have a family relationship that was kind of hush-hush. We never voted on it.
No, I'm sorry.
You weren't here, so you missed that meeting, so it
yes,
doesn't
I
matter.
was. Yes, I
In
was.
the June meeting, you weren't here.
The person you're talking about actually disclosed at the time and said you might want to consider a house that I have a partial ownership.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about something else, because you weren't at the meeting.
Well, I was at that meeting.
I know, I understand that.
Suggested
That's a
person-
different argument. Then we're
Well,
putting another.
we'll get into a contest here.
Anyway, I don't see the conflict, and to the point, I don't even see how the council is supposed to decide this, but I would propose that we vote on a resolution, which I will make up on the fly. And I'm gonna propose.
You're out of order right now. We're talking about an EMS solution.
No,
We're not talking about
her,
this.
but we need to know whether she can
The
vote.
mayor decides points of order, you're out of order. We're staying on the subject that we're on. I'm sorry, I know you like to get away with everything, you're not gonna do it tonight.
Okay.
Okay. And I will say something to you, I do apologize that the attorney isn't here tonight, and when the attorney had some surgery, and as of Friday, he was gonna be here. Apparently, as of Saturday and Sunday, he's got some complications. I actually begged him to be here tonight because I knew this was gonna happen. And he just can't be here. I asked for his associates, they can't be here. I asked for the planning board attorney to be here, he's got an application tonight. So, believe me, I tried. What happened is someone, just so you know what this is all about, someone commented that there might be a conflict because one of the council members is employed by the resident that lives adjacent to the DPW yard. The attorney clearly says, and I would say to you, any of you that are on the planning board or the zoning board, you all know the answer. If there's the mere appearance of a conflict, we ask the person who thinks there's a mere appearance, even though somebody didn't think it was even a mere appearance, if there's a mere appearance, I would say to you, I have done business with this architectural firm. Either I'm continuing to do business, and I have to tell you, I cannot be involved in it because I don't want you to think for a minute that I would suggest that architect because of my relationship. Now, the other side of the coin, which I've done that before, as I've said, listen, I've done business with this architect. I don't do construction, thank God, my brother Larry's here. We don't do construction anymore, we just buy buildings now. I have no continued relationship with him, but I ask everyone on the dais, everyone on the board, everyone on the planning board, if you feel I should step down, I will step down. That's the procedure that normally takes place. In this particular case, the attorney has said he feels it's a conflict of interest, and anyone could come.
That's not what the letter says. Can we read the letter into the record? It doesn't mention her name or any council.
Obviously, it doesn't mention her name. It says,
so then what? How do we know what he really thinks?
You have asked my opinion as to whether a member of a governing body may vote on a matter which is or may be of interest to the council member's employer. While the ethics cases are fact sensitive, the law has been consistent, both, and it gives the case numbers. It is doubtful that participation by a councilman, obviously he's not going to say the person's name, in a municipal action of particular benefit to his employer can be proper in any case. It is doubtful if it can be proper in any case. And by statute, that elected official have a disqualifying indirect interest in matters affecting their employer. A vote may invalidate the town's action and or subject the voting member to sanctions. Past practice, I really don't want to get into this because this is a side thing that we thought was going to be settled by somebody just saying, I understand, I will step down. But if that's not the case, we could continue just as we are.
Mr. Mayor, may I be recognized?
Sure.
Okay, as most of you know, I'm not a lawyer, I'm a dentist, so I'm not that particularly interested in all these nuances right now. I'm really interested in refocusing on the matter before us. Perfect. And I'm trying to crystallize it in my mind as I hear all of this going on. And comes down to a few things. First of all, there's a conflict with EMS and the fire department because there's just too many people. Well, we know that the Bishop House, the people who are involved, that is